podcast. Here we go. Hello, hello, around the block and truly around the world. This is where we discuss, debate, and deliberate all things diabetes. Representing type 2, my name is Dobie Maxwell, and proudly representing type 1, she's vivacious, she's effervescent. Sammy, what are you?
I'm sometimes in the know.
Yep, today you will be. She is the lovely and talented Sammy Parker. Today's episode of Just My Type brought to you by who?
The Diabetes app.
Right, a free social community app that brings together both type 1 and type 2 diabetics, plus their supporters. What can we find there, Sammy, besides community resources?
You can find Dobie and me on the Diabetes app, baby.
And we hope you do. Hey, good day, mates. Let's put some shrimp on the barbie. Sammy, we're going around the world today, baby. This is a big one.
I'm always scared when you do something. I'm like, oh no, here it goes. But then I realize I say some stuff that's really weird, so it's fine.
I'm like the dad that embarrasses everybody, but in a fun way.
And then I'm just the child that everybody's like, shut up.
That's why we love you. Go ahead. We got a great guest today.
We have a great guest, and you might know her as Type 1 Vibes on Instagram, but her name is Jenna, and Jenna is coming to us live from Australia. Jenna, hello.
Hi. I was going to say, I've never said the term put a shrimp on the barbie, but it's always nice hearing it with an accent to it, I have to say.
I think it's a stereotypical thing that we Yanks, because you call us Yanks, say about what Australians say. I had a friend that grew up in Melbourne, and he said the same thing as we never say that. But I said, well, is it a Paul Hogan movie? I don't know. What do you say? What do you put on the barbie?
I don't.
You don't say
like
Barbie.
Steak on the barbie.
Steak on the barbie. Okay, I like steak.
It sounds good though when you say like steak on the barbie. If I said it, it'd be like steak on the barbie. Everybody'd be like, shut up.
Sammy's plant-based. You do eat meat, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You know, it's hard to be Aussie and not eat meat, really.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Beautiful.
a good point. For me, I'm plant-based, but it wasn't like I'm saving. No offense to the animals. It wasn't about saving the animals. I was insulin resistant. So, but Jenna, okay, I have a question for you. So, type 1, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been living with it? Could you give like maybe your diagnosis story?
So this year will be 10 years, and I was diagnosed with it at 19. So I got it when I was older, which was it turned the world upside down. I can easily say that, I think even for my family. I was doing university studies at that point in time, and I just felt that something was a bit off. I was losing a heap of hair. I didn't have any other symptoms of anything to do with diabetes, which was really odd. I went to the doctors. Yeah, it was really weird. I went to the doctors. I said, look, I'm losing a heap of hair. I don't know what it is. He's like, oh, look, we'll just do some bloods. You're probably a bit anemic. And being, I guess, a small country town at that point that I was in, my usual doctor was actually away. And so it was 2 weeks and I hadn't been called for the blood test results. And so I called them up and just said, hey, just want to know, what the blood test results are. And they were like, oh, yeah, you've got a call back, but it's not urgent. And I was like, well, I can come in now. And they're like, yeah, okay, come on in.
Yeah.
And yeah, I went in and he was like, so good news, your blood test results are good, but you've got diabetes. And I was like, what does that mean?
What?
Yeah, it was bizarre.
What month was this?
In September.
Our diagnosis date is like 3 months apart because I was December of 2012.
Ah, there you go. Well, I was the 28th of September, and it was a Friday afternoon, which made it worse.
I'm a June bride. Mine was Father's Day.
Oh,
no.
That's awful.
I'm a type 2. So.
Yeah, Father's Day is not that great.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I guess looking back.
So you were 19 and they tell you have diabetes and all you had was losing hair.
Yeah. Nothing else, no weight loss.
No peeing a lot, no thirst.
No, not getting, it was really odd.
You might have type 3.
Well, at first they were like, maybe, because I think I started out in the honeymoon stage for probably about 3-4 years. So they were like, maybe you have MODY or maybe you have something that's not, because, I wasn't needing like the amount of insulin that someone usually would need. Yeah, I've always been a bit odd like that. I guess I haven't had the massive fluctuations like a lot of others that I've seen get. And still now I'd say, pretty similar. I do get the fluctuations, but not as much as what I see others do. And that's where the online diabetes community has been sort of great because you're just more aware of things.
Yes.
Especially being from a small town that I knew no one else with it. It was, a big eye opener to jump online.
Oh, 1000%. That's like the whole community. same thing for me with like hormones. I didn't know that caused spikes in blood sugars. And so, I mean, obviously I did because I was 12 and then it started happening. But now it's like I find out and I hear from different people, different experiences. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that. Or like, hopefully this will work. But it's like a whole nother world. You like go on like a diabetes Instagram and you're like, whoa, I feel like I'm looking at another language.
Yeah. I'm going on a children diabetes camp in 2 weeks' time. And it's the first one I will ever go on. And hopefully I'll continue going on it. But it was quite funny because there was an older lady who was organizing it and she was a diabetes educator. And we were talking about social media and she's like, oh, social media and diabetes, they just dramatize things. And I was like, I beg to differ. I don't think it's so dramatized. And she's like, no, it's very dramatized. I was like, okay, we'll leave it at that. You have your mind, I have mine. So
yeah, no.
We try to make it fun and bring out humanity because we're all people. I don't care if you're in Australia or Canada or wherever you are. And I think some people just get lost. We talk about that in other episodes, Sammy and I, about how medical, terms and clinical stuff comes. But we're people too.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right.
There's definitely cases where you're like, okay, a blood sugar of 160 is not the end of the world, Like, I'm like, okay, maybe that sounded really like we were going to the hospital. But then there's other times that I'm like, yeah, I need help because I'm 400. I've taken so much insulin and nothing's helping. So if anybody has some like ideas, let me know, please.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's nothing better than hearing it from someone who actually lives it and has it. It's like my doctor currently, he's got type 1 and it's the best thing having a doctor that actually has it as well.
That has it himself. Yeah.
It's great. You don't get those judgmental comments because it's like,
totally.
Oh, I know exactly what you're going through.
So were you always into art? Because obviously I know that you have your whole like art page and you sell prints and such.
In grade 12, I won the visual arts award. So I've always loved art. Initially, I was going to be a primary school teacher, and then I did that for 6 months, went on prac, and I was like, yeah, no, this is not for me. And so when I went and saw like the career counselor, she was like, what do you like? I was like, look, I'm creative, but, I don't really, I want to go something that's quite broad. And she's like, okay, well, we'll put you in marketing and design communications. So yeah, I've always been creative, and currently in the job I have now, it's really marketing focused at a university, whereas I have my type 1 vibes on the side that really lets me have my creative outlet and do all those prints for the community, which I love doing.
Can I ask you a personal question, Jenna?
Go for it.
Don't get nervous. Are you left-handed by chance?
Yes.
Wow. Wait, how'd you know that?
I knew that. Because of her creativity and just the way you described yourself and the way you handled yourself. I am left-handed. I'm the only one in my family that's left-handed. Parents, grandparents, cousins, siblings, everybody. And just the way you described your life and the way you think like a left-hander. And left-handers, 10%. Go ahead, Sarah.
My mom, okay, I don't know if she can hear me right now, and she'll probably get mad.
She'll listen to the episode. She'll listen to it.
She's not very artistically creative.
Is she left-handed?
Yeah.
Well, maybe it's a latent thing, and she kind of passed it on to you.
Okay.
No, Jenna, seriously, here's just something to remember. 10% of the population is left-handed. 10% of left-handers are women. So a left-handed woman is 1% of the population. I dated a woman one time where her daughter was left-handed. I liked the daughter more than I liked the woman. I stayed with her because I liked the daughter. She was 5 years old. I had to teach her how to tie shoes, and left-hands we could do a whole podcast just about being left-handed, which we won't do today. But your vibe was lefty. I didn't want to be intrusive, but I picked up on it, and I liked it.
That's impressive, Gobi.
Yeah.
That is. I'm very impressed.
Like,
as you were saying,
I'm almost like, should we just have Gobi go around and like guess everybody if they're right or left?
No. I know nothing else. I'm an idiot, Jenna. I'm not. No. If it's that I can tell. A blind squirrel finds a nut once in a while. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you found a nut.
With type 1 vibes, when was like your first print? Because I remember this was like 2 years ago. It was like a year after I started the Instagram. And I came across somebody at a print and it led me to you. And they were like, oh, I got my print today. And I was like, where the heck did they get their print from? I don't want one like that.
Oh.
And then it led me to your account.
I was going to say, you got me thinking now. I reckon I've been on the online community since 2017. And I reckon probably maybe 2018, 2019, I started doing the designs.
Okay.
But I think I've sort of ramped up the designs more probably in the last 2 years, I think. Just like I say, it's funny. It's actually since I switched from my job at a law firm to now being at the uni that I've needed that more creative outlet, that I've sort of started to focus more time in outputting designs. Yeah. Or you probably hear the birds.
Oh, that's okay. I think it sounds awesome.
Are they kookaburras? Is that an Australian bird?
No, they're not kookaburras. I think they're honeysuckers.
Honeysuckers. That was my nickname in prison.
Lovely, Dobie, lovely.
Honeysucker, sorry.
But so Jenna, as far as that like expression, how do you come up with stuff, I guess? Like where does the creativity come from? Because I know like me, I'll think of something randomly, but is there a specific, I guess, like realm or area in diabetes that you feel especially passionate about with your art?
I think I quite enjoy, I guess, like my first design that I'd come out with, I wanted something that was elegant and sort of a nice piece of decor. So I sort of noticed in the space that there was a lot of, like, I guess there was a few designs, but they were sort of, I guess, more negatively, like the negative connotations associated with diabetes. And I was like, I want something that looks pretty, that someone can actually hang up in their room or and actually look at and sort of bring them joy, to be like, oh, it's not. Yeah, I sort of wanted to make it look more positive.
Yeah.
And so that's when I had first sort of started doing it, that I loved line drawings. I really got attracted to line drawings when they first started as a thing. And I think, from there, just sort of, there are some that I guess are more deep and people connect with it more on an emotional level. But for the majority of it, I like things that look pretty and uplifting for the person buying it.
The Diabetes app is an online community platform that was created to help people living with diabetes find support and information in one spot.
And on the Diabetes app, you can join groups and connect with other people all over the world who are also living with diabetes. I mean, for me, whenever I have a bad day, I find myself scrolling through the mental wellness group, just to reassure myself that I'm not alone.
The Diabetes app has a resource section where you can find articles, recipes, tips, and tricks for managing your diabetes. Download the Diabetes app today and connect with us right on the app.
DiaStrong is an online telehealth platform that connects you to medical and holistic professionals to help you manage your diabetes. Find registered dietitians, nutritionists, certified diabetes educators, and more without the hassle of having to go into a doctor's office.
Wait. You mean a lazy bum like me can have appointments right from my computer? Sign me up.
That's right, Dobie. And this week, our listeners can use promo code JMT25 for 25% off their first visit.
Yeah, don't try to cheat and go to JMT26 because you're not going to get 26. It's 25. Go to www.diastronghealth.com. That's www.diastronghealth.com. I got a dumb question, Jenna, but it's only one. Now, you're out in the sticks as far as the world goes, and it's a nice place to live, but how do you mail the stuff? How do you get the actual prints in the hands of your customers? That's got to be a really hard thing, because you're going all over the world.
That's exactly right. And I think that was at first when I started doing it, I did post them all over the world. I'd love like writing the little handwritten notes to them and packaging it all up nicely. And then it got to a point where there was a lot coming through that I was like, I literally do not have the time to work and to do like posting and packaging and everything like that. So I went to digital. So essentially, I just send them digitally to people via email.
Wait, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So I figured that was it was better for the end user, because from Australia, I think sometimes it would take up to 8 weeks to get anywhere else in the world.
Oh, absolutely.
Which was ridiculous.
And no offense, you're not in Melbourne or Sydney. Those are the big cities.
No, exactly. And so that's where, I decided to make it all digital downloads, which, is 10 times easier for myself and for the end user to be able to just download it and print it themselves. And it's cheaper for them too, because postage from here was ridiculous as well.
Do you have people who like customize prints with you?
Yeah, that happens pretty often. I'd say that 80% of the prints would be customizable with devices.
I'm going to ask for you to make one of just Dobie's tushy with a sensor on it.
I can do it.
As long as it's buzz when you touch it.
So I'd say the majority of them are all customizable.
It's Christmassy.
It is Christmassy. I'll take joy in doing that one.
It's all right. We like to have fun. That's what we do. So now, how do you handle your diabetes? Sammy came up with something. She's very creative, and she's come up with something called salty sugars. Sammy, you want to tell Jenna what salty sugars is and see if she can relate?
Yeah, I'm going to pretend I wasn't offended that you said righties are not creative because I think I'm creative, but
Well,
it's
no,
fine.
you're creative in your own way. So for you and Elizabeth, I
I'm
can't
kidding.
talk to you. Jenna, I can talk to because I'm a weirdo lefty. No offense. We're built backwards. It's different. It's different.
Yeah, whatever. You read books from left to right. Weird.
Yes, I do. I can sign my name backwards.
Right to left.
I sign my name backwards, Jenna. I bet you can too.
It's funny that you said that because literally from when I was little, I used to write back the front.
That's right. I'm telling you.
And mom and dad were like, there's a problem here.
We're making a cosmic connection here. I don't know if we're ever going to be in Australia, but I'll show you. I literally sign my name backwards. It's on my driver's license, my credit cards, my legal signature.
I think I should just leave the conversation.
It's okay,
right?
Sam. Tell Jenna about salty sugars, please, and I'll listen, and we'll have a good episode.
So, salty sugars. It's a time basically where your sugars are very stubborn, and it's from like an emotional trauma. So, sadness, anger, frustration. It could be excitement, but it's normally typically like for me from negative feelings, right? And my numbers are stubborn and they stay high. And they're super, super just 300 no matter what I take. It's like basically give me the middle finger, right? That'd be a great picture for you, a middle finger that says salty sugars.
Does that mean the same thing in Australia? I mean, it could mean something totally different in Australia. Does it mean not good, bad driver?
No, it would mean the same thing here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just get on the same page. Thank you.
Right. So, have you had a time that has happened?
Yes, there's been a few times. I tend to get on a snacking train. You get frustrated. Mine normally happens if I'm low and then I eat everything in front of me and then it just shoots up ridiculously high. And then in an Aussie term, I get the shits with it.
The shizzits.
And so
that's not an Aussie term. We use that over here too, but that's okay.
That's pretty good.
And so, yes, I get the shits with it. I get the shits and I get salty.
But it's with a Z. It's with a Z.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. And yeah, I guess that gets frustrating because you've just gone from one point to it being low, feeling like crap.
Yeah.
And then eating your way through to get to the other side, which is ridiculously high, that you've got to start the insulin process all over again.
Yeah.
So that's a salty moment for me.
Yeah,
Sure.
that is a very salty moment. Do you guys, is like the healthcare pretty easy over in Australia in terms of like getting insulin, having access to such? Or is it a little bit of a pain? Because I like to say the pharmacy here is pain in my tushy.
It is. So for insulin, it's fine. We're lucky in that regard. However, CGMs in Australia, literally they come out with it this week that on Friday we'll be getting more information on subsidised CGMS. So since I've been diagnosed and using CGM, I've had to pay maybe like $5,000 a year with no reimbursement whatsoever. Yeah. That's been a real pain and obviously hurts the wallet a lot. But yeah, Australia finally has gone, yes, we will subsidise these. So the only thing that's not subsidised here that I use is the Omnipod, which currently has no subsidy whatsoever on it. So that one's about $400 a month to use. And so we're fighting to hopefully get that across. But no, we're pretty lucky here with our healthcare system.
Because we have a lot of listeners. Elizabeth is in Canada. Sammy and I are in the States. We have listeners in the UK. And we just really haven't covered it in Australia because, I mean, it's just something that's a worldwide thing. And it's so not one system everywhere. Not fair, but it just is. Hopefully we can maybe, be an advocate for that someday. But right now, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, no. I'm part of the International Diabetes Federation, and just seeing and speaking to everyone else all over the world and hearing of the different scenarios. You're so sometimes in your own little cocoon that you only realize what's going on here. And I think it's so important to sort of, especially in underprivileged countries, how difficult it is there. And it really makes you appreciate how good our healthcare system is here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 1,000%.
Yeah.
Just from an outsider's point of view, I don't know, and I should. What is the population of Australia? I know a lot of people live by the coastlines, a lot of land, like Canada. Canada's a lot of land, not a lot of people.
Population of Australia, according to a quick Google search, is 25 million.
Okay, I was just curious because like the percentage of diabetics there is going to be lower. That's my whole point. I'm not trying to grill you and quiz you and make you feel like...
Yeah, the percentage of our diabetics is lower. Don't ask me the right amount because I don't know. I can't.
You know them all. It's like, Mike?
Do you guys want to hear a crazy statistic?
Let's hear it, Sammy.
Guess how much a gallon of insulin costs?
A gallon of insulin.
A gallon of insulin.
I don't even speak in gallons. What is a gallon?
Oh gosh. Okay.
A gallon in
It's
relation
a liter,
to
4 liters. Like it'd be a liter's a little more than a quart.
Oh, okay. So 4 liters.
Okay, 1 gallon is 3.7 liters.
3.7 liters. So Queen Elizabeth is our podcast. She knows what she's our podcast queen here.
Okay.
So 3.7 liters. Sorry. In Dobie and a gallon for us, okay?
Right.
So how much do you guys think it is?
Oh man. $300.
That's cute.
300.9.
You probably saw it.
I remember seeing a post of it being like, in some countries, the 3rd most expensive liquid in the world.
$9,000.
Yeah, it's
Is
ridiculous.
that for premium or is that for regular?
$9,000. A 1 gallon of insulin. Which, I mean, like, mind you, that is a lot of insulin. But still, a gallon is a $9,000.
What's the first most expensive? Like a perfume or something?
I don't know. Maybe a gasoline nowadays. Jeez, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Gasoline expensive over there?
Yeah, very.
I could not believe it when I heard that.
It's very sad. That's very sad.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's wild, though. I really want to come over to Australia because I feel like it's this really health-conscious place. But correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, look, I got a shock when I did come over to the US, and we went to some fast food shop and saw the large, and we were like, this large drink is huge. Like, we didn't even have something in Australia that would be that big. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
And I was shocked by all that.
Oh, no, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
We're pretty embarrassed about it. I live in a state called Wisconsin, which is the fattest state of all the states in America.
Yeah.
It's really big people. And you look there, they have the cheese and gravy and everything that's bad for you. And they always wash it down with a Diet Coke. It's like, well, just don't be a hypocrite.
Okay, Dobie. Okay. No hating on the Diet Coke.
I don't hate on it, but I'm saying after you've ate a buffalo's rump, you don't have to have a Diet Coke. Just drink whatever you want. It's okay. But they also have the big nasty gravy thing and then the Diet Coke to wash it down. Oh, 5,001 calories. Yeah, your sugar will have a comma in it.
Yes.
Ugh.
Let's talk about this, Jenna. How's your diet as an Australian? Sammy said it's a health-conscious country. Do you find it's easy to eat a diabetic-friendly diet there, or do you have to fight it? Do you have to plan specially? How's your diet over there?
Well, if you can't tell by my looks, I'm Italian. So we used to have, oh God, like
Hey, woo, hey.
Italian.
That's how Italians talk over where
I
we
love
live.
that.
Yeah,
If you couldn't tell by my looks.
I thought you were Australian until you told us.
Aussie Italian. And for 19 years, God, we would have like pasta, I reckon, like 3 times a week. And then when I got this diagnosis, Mum was like, maybe we need to cut down on
5
the
times a
pasta.
week.
Yeah. And I was like, this is not good. And so I decided pretty much from day dot when I got diagnosed that I stopped eating rice, bread, pasta, pizza, everything Italians like and love, which really hurt for a significant amount of time. But essentially now I do love my snacks. I love my chocolate. I won't hold back on eating sweets, but I always ensure that my main meals are mostly low carb. I might make a batch of, vegetable soup up for work, or a batch of, chicken and veggies, and put that in the deep freeze. That way each day, I've got the same thing, but I'll heat it up at work. That way it's easy. I don't get the temptation to not eat, I guess, healthy foods at lunch. And that's how I sort of get away with being able to eat the naughty food.
Ugh, I love that. That sounds so yummy.
You and Sammy are both 10 years into your diabetic journey. Have you found, I'm sure that it's easier now, I got to believe, 10 years in, so you have a little bit more, expectation of what you're going to be high or low, what you can eat, how you exercise?
No, you definitely do, I think.
Yeah. And plus with CGMs, I find now that I struggle without a CGM. I might only test my sugar once. And it's always high. It's always stupidly high when I'm not testing often. So the CGM is just an absolute lifesaver. And I found now that I was doing manual injections for 9 years. And then I was like, I really want to try a pump. And then the Omnipod come to town. So I've been using that now for about 9 months. And that's been a game changer as well. So technology just has a huge impact on being able to, I guess, manage diabetes with ease. Well, not with ease, but it's a lot easier than not.
Yes.
Easier than it was.
Yes. I'm so sad, you guys, but our time's coming to a close, which is sad because this has been one of the most fun episodes.
It is. It always goes fast when you have a good
But
guest.
we have a question of the pod that we like to ask the listeners and also ask you. And the question of the pod is if you're right-handed or left-handed, but obviously we know you're lefty. Dobie's a lefty and I'm the oddball out. I'm a righty, but we want our audience to answer and listen. And Jenna, can you tell everybody where we can find you, please?
At Type 1 Vibes on Instagram. If you jump on there, if you find any prints or anything that you like, please send me a message and I'm always happy to customize things because I don't want anyone feeling left out.
Yay.
Left out. Get it? Little pun there.
Good one.
Thanks, Jenna. We appreciate it. You were fun.
Thank
we like
you.
to have fun.
And you can find us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at JustMyTypePod_, Facebook at JustMyTypePod, and our hashtag JustMyTypePod. There we go.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you to everybody who listens. Thank you to our pod squad, Elizabeth behind the scenes, along with Zach, our intern. Get a hold of us. We will get a hold of you. We love you. We will talk to you again. Sammy put a sugar-free cherry on the Healthy Sunday. One more time, kid.
Hey, la vie, baby.
This is the Just My Type podcast.